The Troy Virtual Academy has certain expectations for our online learners. First, you should know who your learning team is. So at the school district, there is a team of people who are here to help you, and you should know who they are. First of all, Dr. Martell is our school superintendent. Next, Ms. McGurgan is the principal of academic affairs. So Ms. McGurgan will be the person who is your principal in the virtual academy. She will be doing a lot of communicating with you, as will I, and I will introduce myself at the end. Dr. Polly is the on-campus high school principal. She also will interact with you, and she and Ms. McGurgan will work together as principals for the virtual academy. Mrs. Smythe and Mrs. Gibble are the guidance counselors. If you are in grades 10, 11, or 12, Mrs. Smythe is your guidance counselor, and if you're in grades 7, 8, or 9, Mrs. Gibble is. If you're in grades lower than 7, then Mrs. Judson is your guidance counselor and Miss Abreu is your principal. Most virtual academy students are in grades 7 through 12, however. Mrs. Maddox is the secretary in our guidance office, so she may communicate with you as well. These three ladies, Mrs. Smythe, Mrs. Gibble, and Mrs. Maddox, can all help you better understand what courses you should be taking, when you should take them, and making sure that you get all your credits in time for graduation. Mr. Schrader is our technology director and Mr. Kelly is the network administrator. These gentlemen can help troubleshoot technology issues, and they are the ones who prepare the technology for you to use. My name is Mrs. Davis. I'm the librarian at the middle school, and I also help with the virtual academy. I will work closely with you and your entire learning team. Before we discuss the expectations, you should know that online learning is not teacherless. You will have online teachers that you can communicate with as much as needed. Online learning is also not completely independent. Although it may feel like you're working alone if you're working from home, there are other students taking these classes as well. Some from Troy and some from other schools. Sometimes it can be helpful to network with those other students as you're working through the courses. There may be certain assignments in your courses that require that you interact. For example, you may be asked to make a post in a discussion board or to comment on somebody else's post. Online learning is definitely not easy. It is rigorous and challenging, and it requires your focus and dedication every day. The Virtual Academy has 4 main expectations. As an online learner, you need to attend an orientation and complete the orientation requirements. Our orientation consists of a series of lessons that will help you get to know these expectations, help you set up your technology, help you become familiar with the learning websites you'll be using, how to navigate the courses, and then we'll also provide you with some tips for the habits of success. Once you've completed your orientation, you will be enrolled in your online classes. And then there's a requirement that you attend those each school day. So you should log in and work on your courses for 4 hours per school day. If you do this, you should easily be able to complete at least 12% of your course each week. Most courses are set up as a quarter-long course. Let's take a look at a common course, for example. World Cultures is a course many of our students take. World Cultures Online is split into 2 parts. There's a Part A and Part B. Each of those parts is worth half a credit. So if you take Part A and pass and Part B and pass, you'll have earned your 1 World Cultures credit. Part A would need to be completed in a marking period, a quarter, and Part B would need to be completed the next marking period, or quarter. Therefore, in 1 semester, you will have completed your full credit. So That's an example. And if you complete 12% of each of your courses each week, you will be on track. We do track your attendance and we do report your attendance to the state. So if you are not logging in on a certain day, then you will be marked absent. If you don't log in for the full 4 hours, you will be marked absent for part of the day, depending on how many hours you have attended. There is a little bit of flexibility in the virtual academy. If, for example, you have an appointment on a certain day, you can either schedule to do your schoolwork before or after that appointment. So the time of day you choose to work is entirely up to you. If you happen to fall short on hours one day, then you need to make sure that you double up on your hours the next day. The next requirement is that you communicate. You need to respond to any virtual academy staff within 24 hours. So if we email you, one of us on that team that I showed you, if one of us emails you, you need to respond within 24 hours, and we will do the same. You also need to ask your teachers for help. Like I said, each online course has a teacher. That teacher will provide his or her email address, and we'll set up office hours where you can connect with them in a web conference environment so you can see their screen and talk with them. You also need to communicate with your parents about your progress. Show them how far you've gotten. Show them your lessons. Show them your scores each week. The last requirement, of course, is that you successfully complete your classes. So you will need to complete all your assignments in your online classes. You need to make sure that you meet all deadlines. The courses will have a specific end date. You will not be able to access the courses after that end date. So make sure you meet all of your deadlines. In order to pass a course, you need to score at least a 70% or greater.